Hi, I'd like to have a chat with you about why mindset matters and why it might be actually more important than you think. So, in this video, I will quickly go through 5 talking points, starting off with the basics of what mindset is, in my own words. Two different types of a mindset that we recognize, generally speaking. Um, I'll talk about the power of your belief as well, which is quite important in the mindset. I will talk about overcoming challenges and mindset and goal settings, which is a quite important part of that. So if you feel like this is something that you are interested in, please keep watching. Okay, so let's start off with defining what mindset is, and obviously it's not going to be something that I'm going to read to you from an encyclopedia, because you can easily Google that. So for me, basically, mindset is a collection of beliefs and attitudes that shape how an individual reacts to events and experiences. But honestly, in short, for me, mindset is basically how we see things, because surprisingly, it's not always, the reality is not always what we see. So for me, mindset is not about only a positive thinking, which can be misleading, and most of people actually might think that it's about being just optimistic, positive, which is obviously an important part of it. But mindset is more, for me, about how you see yourself, how those thoughts can shape every single part of your life. Honestly, mindset affects every part of your life, because if you have low esteem and self-value, it can affect every single part of your life. Your mindset, for me, basically determines how you handle stress. For an example, you might be quite good in handling stressful situations, but if your mindset is not right for you, you're gonna be even more stressed. Mindset also affects how you set your goals and what these goals are, and obviously we want to have the best of our lives, but if your mindset is not aligned with your values, you might actually struggle very much with actually achieving any of your goals. Mindset also affects how you actually interact with other people, because you might be thinking they are saying something else when the reality is they were trying to say something else, but just because of the mindset that you are in at the moment, you see it differently. So honestly, I've learned that hard way over the last couple of years, that actually things that people say or do might not always be what we see. And there is a good quote that I've heard somewhere, but I can't remember where. Is something along the lines of, things are not always what they seem to be, meaning somebody with a different mindset can have a completely different view of the same situation than yourself, and that's why mindset in this particular case is very important. Point number 2, generally speaking, we have 2 types of a mindset. It's a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. Basically, the difference is that fixed mindset, it says basically that your abilities are static and cannot be improved, and growth mindset, surprise surprise, actually says that your skills, your abilities can be improved through hard work and experiences. So if you have a fixed mindset, let's say, to give you an example, let's say if you still in education or in a school or university, and you're struggling to actually get through your exams and something like that, or at work you can't get promoted, you find it hard to actually be good at your work, even though others might actually think that you are good, but you just don't feel like it. If you have a fixed mindset, you're not gonna find a solution, and you're always going to be thinking like, I'm not good enough, I can't make it, I won't get through that. Whereas if you have a growth mindset, you'll obviously accept that it is difficult, but there is a solution I'm gonna find. So that's the main difference. With growth mindset, you will always try and find a solution, because solutions usually always somewhere. And that's the biggest difference between those mindsets. And just imagine how can they actually affect every stage of your life, whether you are still in education, whether you are making a career at work, or even at home. If you have a growth mindset and you're gonna come across an obstacle, whatever it might be, if you have a growth mindset, you'll know that there is solution, there is a way to get through that trouble, and you're gonna find a way to generally succeed in your goal, because obviously it affects the goals as well. And your goal might be, I don't know, a better life with your partner. It might be a promotion, or getting past that very important exam. So that's the main difference between two mindsets. And now we're on to a point 3, which is quite important, at least from my point of view, is the power of self-belief. Have you actually ever heard about self-fulfilling prophecy? Yes, I thought you did. And honestly, the mindset and the way you think about yourself, your beliefs, can actually become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Which means if you honestly think that you're not gonna make it, it actually might, well, there is a better chance that actually that won't happen. Your mindset can literally limit your potential, or push you to make an amazing leap that you wouldn't believe it was actually possible. Which, you see, the trouble is, if you believe, you have that growth mindset that you can achieve your goals, you can succeed, you are in a way much better position to actually get to your goals. So this is really, really important. This self-belief can make you or break you, in simple words. Okay, let's talk about overcoming challenges and how mindset impacts you facing any type of a challenge. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to talk about a fixed mindset, because I'm going to focus only on the growth mindset. So if you have a growth mindset, or at least you want to change your way of thinking to more of a growth mindset, your challenges won't be seen as challenges. They will be seen, or you will see them more as an opportunity, because opportunity to prove yourself that you can actually make it, you can find a solution, you can get through it, and more important, you can learn and have that experience. So if that happens in the future, it's gonna be way much easier. To give you an example, like a real life example, a couple of weeks back, I was working with one of the customers, and they were actually facing a bit of a situation at work when they didn't have, well, they couldn't actually deal with one person at work, and for months they couldn't actually make it work, and well, obviously they had to work together. So what basically happened is, after my client explained me the whole situation, and they told me how they've actually seen the situation, I gave them a two different point of views how I've seen the situation, which wasn't actually the way they've seen it. And guess what? A couple of weeks later, I had the basically an email saying, "Oh yeah, we finally got it sorted. We can actually work together now. We actually quite good friends, not best pals, you know what I mean? But it's actually it did work. But I was able to do that because I was well. First of all, I was outsider, so I could like step outside of that and see the situation, which was not necessarily the way they've seen it. So whenever you are faced by a challenge, it's actually good to step outside. It's like, stepping outside of your body and looking at the situation, because it might not actually be what you are seeing, or you might be stressed, you might be, I don't know, you might not slept well or whatever, and the way you react to a certain situation might actually lead to different thingies. So it is really good if you can actually stop for a second, step outside, and make sure that the situation is actually how you see it. Okay, talking point number 5 and the last one for this video. So mindset and its role in goal setting. So basically, a healthy mindset will definitely help you with setting achievable but yet at least a tad challenging goals. So something that you can achieve, but it's gonna take a little bit of effort for you to achieve them. So the goals can be as small and or as big as you feel that appropriate for you, where you are with the mindset, with the situation that you are in. But just remember, your mindset will help you to achieve those goals way much faster than if you had a fixed mindset. The important bit when it comes to goal setting is obviously when you struggling or even you failed to meet your goal. So for most people, it's going to be, I'm a failure. But the way I see it, I didn't fail, because I'm gonna fail only if I give up. But if you think of your failure more as more like of a learning curve, so this is your experience. So with your second attempt, you're gonna be way much smarter. That will make your life so much easier, and goals gonna become gradually easier to achieve because you learned from your mistakes. Yeah, I wish we could learn. Well, we did learn from others' mistakes, but the truth is, the best we learn from our mistakes, and unfortunately, some people don't learn from even their own mistakes. So don't think about a failure or a setback as a dead end. Just think about it more like an opportunity to learn and grow even more.